I've seen at least, I think, a half a dozen new Assange, like local Assange groups starting up all over the place. And that's really super exciting to me. And also shout out to Allie, who organized the bus tour for everybody. She was the one that got all that together, and she's amazing and I love her dearly. So shout out to Allie Mae. We love you, girl. But yeah, I think that we are definitely starting to see an increase in the support. And I think what we've just seen as far as the journalists getting attacked at the protests, over the past few nights. I mean, we saw it last summer too. Journalists were getting, detained and pepper sprayed and all of that good stuff. But it is really ramped up. I mean, a journalist got punched in the face last night. They were making everybody show their credentials and then taking their pictures. The journalists were told that they were going to be tracking them. That's insane, you guys. This is the United States, and they're taking pictures of journalists and telling them we're going to be tracking you now. That's crazy. Like, are y'all not terrified by that? Because I am. I'm fucking terrified by that. And I think people are starting to see how intense it's getting. I hope so anyway. Jesus, I don't know what else we have to do to get people to see.
You know what? I don't know that anyone's going to see it. I think that you've got those that have realized it and have now started to navigate this a little bit better. I mean, we still have a militarized D.C. We still don't know the name of the police officer that shot that woman inside of the Capitol, but we do know that there will be no charges against him. However, we're going to charge the person that videotaped it. That's a big problem. There's a lot going on right now to the point where, again, like even that 13-year-old kid that just got shot. I don't want to see 13-year-old kids get shot. He had a gun. Let me repeat that. He's on the street late at night. He had a gun. We immediately know that police officer's name. And now we have all these protests and riots in the street. Again, I'm not saying that police reform isn't a necessary thing, but they're going to play that, especially in Chicago, to more gun reform. My state has taken the opposite approach and said, hey, you don't even have to register a gun here anymore. You're more than welcome to have it. They play that down in the media. They're going to play this up. And, I don't know that people see it. I think it's absolute insanity when, for instance, another thing about this Capitol Hill incident is that they used all their track, trace, database tools to begin with. And they knew how to find most of these people, and they still turn people into a snitch society. They're getting more and more people used to telling on their neighbors. Even in that press conference about Canada yesterday, it was specifically asked, you see your neighbors outside, and they're having a barbecue, or there's people over. Should you call it in? Well, you might have that responsibility now.
Well, we've transitioned into an Among Us culture, Jason, right? So you have political leaders like Ocasio-Cortez getting her obviously impressionable audience to go play a game for hours a day that just programs you to think someone's suspicious. Mm-hmm. And that's literally bled into everyone's lives, where people now use the word sus in a daily basis, and they want to find the person. But the other travesty is that you don't even have to be right, because at the end of the day, the game ends. Right. But in real life, that doesn't happen. When you report someone because you don't like them or you think that they're suspicious, you're going to get that person fucking scooped up and thrown into a gulag. They're going to go to a FEMA camp or a detention hotel, and they're going to be there maybe indefinitely. And it's fucking disgusting.
And anyone who thinks that the FBI needs your help when they have access to like the best facial recognition software on planet Earth, you really think they need your help identifying these people? They don't. They just want to know who the snitches are. That's all. They just want to know who you are. And you're just helping them, bootlickers.
That's exactly it. They want to train you to be a slave class, right? That's what really this control for your kids in school is, for stickers and not being around and wearing a mask here and not there. They're training you as a parent to think that's okay too. So it's generational. They'll see where the family bootlickers are. Okay. They're going to go along to get along. They also want to know who the really scared informants are. I had an experience yesterday that really broke my heart. I'm on my way to get my morning coffee. First, I see this teenage kid get out with his mask. I'm like, why the fuck is this kid in a mask? There's no mandate here. They're really cool here. Then there's a woman probably in her 50s, 60s. She's in a mask. Okay. And then there's a woman probably 60 years old or older behind me, also in a mask. Now, the kid holds the door for the woman in front of him. She won't touch the door. See, it progressively gets worse in the fear. You get to see how scared everybody really is. She uses her elbow because she's not going to touch her jacket later, right? She's safe. She touched her elbow. She holds it for
Dude,
me.
they invented like little gadgets that like you can use to push buttons and open doors with. It's like a little metal thing that has like a hook on one side and a little pointy thing on one side, so you don't have to like push elevator buttons or open doors with your hands or anything. It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. So then the last woman intentionally slows down, and as I try to hold the door, she freaks out. No, I'm okay. No. And I'm just like, I can't even hold the door for a 60-year-old woman anymore because she's scared shitless that I'm not wearing a mask. My God, we've gotten this far. We've got sunny day out, 75 degrees. Just what happened? I'm not a revolutionary. I've never been a revolutionary. I've been begging for a reformation of our Constitution and Bill of Rights, but you have to understand this has nothing to do with any kind of government that was set up for a free humanity. And our Constitution and Bill of Rights have been eviscerated over the last 60, 70 years with the growing media, military, industrial complex, and they've colluded around the world. People better get it through their head. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Throw me your best lefty. Throw me your best righty. Throw me whatever moderator you want. Put it on live, we'll do it live, and I guarantee I will make them look like a simpleton. I'll make them look like a child 100% of the time. These people don't know what they're talking about. They don't have the evidence to back it up. They will get flustered, they will call names, or they will ignore. And unfortunately, that's not what we need. We need people like you who realize this stuff to get out for Assange, right? To get out against these lockdowns, to get out against Excelsior Pass, to say that sergeant in Canada is right. Because a lot of people are still asking the dumb question, how did you not leave 1930s or 40s Germany with the Nazis and Hitler's in power? My bigger question right now is, if you live in Canada, how have you not physically stormed the border with force to leave, if necessary, not allowing you there and now asking for your papers on the streets in certain areas? I mean, how are you not leaving now? If you were asking that question at any time in history and you live in Canada and you've not packed your stuff up and figured out a plan to cross the border illegally, I don't know what to tell you. Now's the time to get out of there because what's that?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah. Where are you going to go? Where
are
you going to go? Australia is the same way. New Zealand's the same way.
The UK passed a bill a few months ago that we've been covering endlessly, hoping that someone larger than us, like the big fish in the sea, will pick it up. The UK passed a law that allows every single institution of their government, essentially, to break whatever law they want for the financial.
Yeah, they can rape, they can murder, they can whatever.
They can do mass genetic experimentation with untested vaccinations on target populations to determine outcome and result.
And now they have the protest bill where now they're trying to like you cannot protest. If you are a nuisance, you can be thrown in jail for being a nuisance while protesting. Well, that's the fucking point of protest, is to be a nuisance.
Well, we had it back in September, right? I think it was September, where the members of the UK embassy staff came out and complained to the Secret Service that we were being too loud. And the Secret Service told them, sorry, they're here to protest. Right. So that attitude amongst people of the UK isn't, amongst the privileged elite of the UK, I guess, isn't that exciting, considering they're willing to walk out of an embassy and say, hey, I know we're torturing a guy, but can you tell them to be quiet? I need to make a phone call.
Take it down a notch, guys. We got torture to do. They like to do their torture in quiet, Andrew.
Well, that's actually true. They do love their torture in quiet. They love their black sites. They don't even like that you have names like Abu Ghraib or Gitmo. And that's why they, again, one of their little funnies with the QANONSENSE was to make you think that Gitmo was good. Right? Oh, Gitmo's and we got the war criminals. We got them all. We got the corpse of Jimmy Savile down there. We're doing it. We did it all. I mean,
it's depressing how effective Q was.
Oh, I know.
It really is. It turned a lot of people's brains off, and that's just really unfortunate. It's like, I mean, it is Russiagate. It's Russiagate for the red team. But both of those things.
The Free Assange movements was what honestly broke QAnon. And no one was willing to admit it, or I don't even think most of them even realize it, right? But pardoning Julian
when Trump didn't pardon, when there was no pardon, a lot of people were like, wait.
And only demand that Trump's base made of him his entire presidency. The whole rest of Trump's presidency, the hallmark was trust the plan. And then in this very last few days, the people that supported him made one demand out of 4 years and didn't get what they asked for. one demand of someone that was supposed to be by their side this entire time, taking down the global military establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't give them the one thing that they asked for.
No, instead, he strengthened their hold on Julian Assange and other whistleblowers. Counterterrorism document 2020 to 2022 was very, very stark in what it said. They don't want public disclosure organizations. They don't want ideologically motivated individuals. Those people are ISIS. Those people are Al Qaeda. And now more than ever, you've seen them use that type of mentality with their domestic terror and sifting through military personnel and what their political beliefs are. Hey, everybody, check out the rest of this great hour-long interview exclusively over at the Rockfin for free. Make that free account right now. Love you guys. See you over at Rockfin.